Good morning, Year 8. This is lesson number 7, and we are looking at alcohol today. So, question of the day is, can you remember the 7 components of a healthy diet? Write those down in your books, and then I want you to check back in a minute if you were correct from lesson number 1. So we are talking about alcohol today. So first of all, what we need to know is how it's actually made. So it's made by a process called anaerobic respiration. This is a type of respiration that does not involve oxygen. So unlike us, when we do respiration or breathing, we do use oxygen. In the making of alcohol, there is no oxygen involved. Glucose, which is sugar, is turned into carbon dioxide and ethanol. Ethanol is a form of alcohol, and that is what we find in our drinks, our alcoholic beverages. We're also going to make from this kind of respiration a lot of energy as well. Now, the downside of ethanol is that it does travel in your bloodstream to your brain, affects your nervous system. And when you drink alcohol, this is why people actually get drunk. And obviously, too much alcohol is a dangerous thing because it is a depressant. It is a dangerous chemical that if it's taken into our bodies in excess, it can give us problems. So what I want you to do now, I want you to put down a definition for anaerobic respiration from the information on the screen. And I want you to write out the equation for anaerobic respiration, which is glucose turns into carbon dioxide and ethanol. So you can do a little bit of research at home and ask your family members that are around you today in lockdown, what makes a drink stronger than another drink? Is there something on the bottle or a can that can tell you that one type of alcohol is stronger than another alcohol? Ask your family. So it's likely that your family will have either said it is the units of alcohol, or they could have said something about the percentage of alcohol in something. So there are some alcohols that are stronger than others. So as spirits, for example, gin, vodka, whiskey, things like that, they will have a much higher percent of alcohol in them. So basically there's more alcohol than water in them. Whereas something like beer or wine will have a lower amount of alcohol in them. So what we're looking for is how many units is in a certain type of alcohol, or the percentage of alcohol in the given alcoholic drink. So as you can see from this chart, depending on what type of alcohol a person is drinking, depends on how many units of alcohol it actually contains. So in fact, a pint of beer actually contains 2 to 3 units of alcohol, depending on how strong it is. So there is a safe limit, according to the government, of what we should as adults be drinking a week, and the maximum is the same for men and women, and that is 14 units of alcohol per week. Obviously, as a child, and anyone under the age of 18 is not allowed to drink alcohol at all. In your books, can you write down the units of alcohol allowed per week for a man or woman? In front of you, you can see 5 alcoholic drinks. I want you to have a go at guessing how many units are in each type of these drinks. Were you right? As you can see, a lager actually contained 3. Some do contain 2, it depends how strong the lager is. As you can see, something like the spirit at the bottom with the 50ml glass, that contains 2.3. That is because that is a spirit. So spirits contain more alcohol than beers and wines. So if you can write 1 to 10 in your books, then we will show you a picture, and from that picture I want you to state 10 reasons from the pictures why people abuse alcohol. So here there are actually 12 reasons. You may have got some others that we hadn't even thought of as to why people abuse alcohol. That can be anything from pressure, stress, family, curiosity, being a teenager, just growing up in general. Or it could be some people just like to party. Obviously, anything in moderation as an adult is not a problem, but you have to be aware that alcohol is a drug and it can be misused and lead to medical complications as well as mental complications. So one of the problems associated with alcohol is something called fetal alcohol spectrum disorder, which is when people consume alcohol while they are pregnant. This can lead to physical effects, brain disorders, learning issues, emotional and behaviour problems. Sometimes it's mild, sometimes it can be quite dominant. Sometimes you cannot even tell. However, what you need to know is when you drink alcohol when you are pregnant, it can be very dangerous. Okay, so on this page we have 3 columns here: family, friends and society. I want you to write those in your books, and then from the lists in red, I want you to then put these statements under each subheading. Are they something to do with family? Are they something to do with friends? Or are they something to do with society? Some you might think may overlap into 2 categories. So here are the answers. Obviously, drinking alcohol can be dangerous in family situations, can cause a lot of arguments, abuse, and difficulties within the home. Amongst friends, obviously, if you misuse alcohol, get drunk or addicted to alcohol, it can cause problems between your friends and your friendship groups. In society, alcohol is associated a lot with crime, violence, especially on Saturday nights. It causes a lot of problems for the police. It can also lead to actual drug addiction, which we will look at in another lesson when we look more closely at drugs. So remember, alcohol is a drug. It can be misused and it can lead to a lot of problems. So to end our lesson, what I'd like you to do is make a label to warn children of the dangers of alcohol. This could go on a wine bottle, beer bottle, or a beer can, something like that. You can use your own personal knowledge and what you've learnt from this lesson, but I'd like you to include some facts and things to be aware of when you are consuming different concentrations of alcohol. Okay, so that brings us to the end of lesson 7. I'd like you now to go on to Doddle and complete the lesson 7 quiz on alcohol.